I like this thing we do. If you like this thing we do, you can subscribe or
Yes,
support
you
us on
can.
Patreon like these baller people on the screen. Look at them. Look at them. They're
Yeah,
right here.
they're right there
They're
on the
right there.
screen.
Zach, I'm going to draw some stuff. You tell me about Heavy Metal Santa.
Oh, I haven't done this one before, I don't think.
Yeah.
So I went to I used to be a really big metalhead. I still listen to heavy metal, but I listen to like every genre in just sort of rotation. But my roommate Matt is a hardcore metal. Loves heavy metal, and he really likes a band called Spirit Box. And they were opening up. I forget who the other band was, but they were one of the openers for Ghost in New Jersey. It was I think in Trenton, which is not that far from us. So we're like, you know what? Hell yeah, let's. I want to go see Ghost. You want to go see Spirit Box? He became more of a Ghost fan after seeing him live, which is a very common experience. Uh, First of all, uh, heavy metal shows in the like amount of time I haven't been going to them because I probably hadn't been to well, I'd been to one metal show like right before I moved to PA, and that was because my mom got tickets to a show she didn't know she was a metal show, which was a hilarious experience for her to find that out. Because it was Daughtry, who was like a hard rock outfit, but all the bands opening were heavy metal. So my mom goes in and like watches them like bang their heads and like shred on guitars, and I'm like, this is great. I'm glad my mom is experiencing this. She was like very confused at first, but she eventually like thought it was really cool. But I hadn't been to like a metal show with a more popular recent band since probably like 2015, 2016, maybe. I'd just been out of it for a while. Actually, I think it was 2017 I went to go see uh oh goodness, I'm forgetting their name. They're from Ukraine. They're that lady singing in it. This is a very long bit, Tom. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Zach,
Uh,
we're going to have a
we'll get
discussion at the
heavy
end of
metal
this
Santa, I swear.
as to whether
Uh,
you think that this is
Ginger.
whether you think this is funny.
Ginger. I saw Ginger in Toronto in 2017. I hadn't seen a metal show since until last year. So it's been like 5 years. One show accepted that was kind of metal. This was the first like thing that metal fans go to, and I was surprised. Uh, Metal shows used to be a bunch of like sweaty, long-haired dudes, but now like at this Ghost concert, there was like an equal amount of men and women, which is phenomenal. I'm glad we like got gender parity. And I'm glad that many of them decided to dress up as satanic nuns for different reasons. And
I imagine they didn't all have the same reasons.
I think the reason was the ghost was there. Uh, but that, anyways, so there's this guy who is not like, I'm wearing just like a metal t-shirt. Matt's just wearing a metal t-shirt. A lot of people dressed up in like goth makeup, satanic nun, stuff like that. Uh, there's just this, older dude, white beard, balding, standing in the middle of the arena, uh, and near where the mosh pit's going to break out eventually, but not that close to it. And all of a sudden, somebody just starts chanting Santa, 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 and then like across the arena, like this is something that people are aware of. People just start chanting Santa, Santa, and then the old man just sort of like reaches into his pocket, pulls out a Santa hat, and puts it on his head, and everybody goes out of their mind cheering. And Matt and I are just looking at each other like, what the hell just happened? So apparently this is a common thing that people are aware of, or somebody just decided to chant Santa, unaware of the fact that somebody was going to be prepared for this exact scenario.
You think that person you think that person just got extremely lucky?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case. I don't think I can say that definitively, but more likely the case is there is a heavy metal Santa in Trenton, and if you go to a metal show and start chanting Santa out loud, he will put the hat on. That must needs be the case, I think, because anything else is too absurd to believe.
All right, everyone, we have come up with a reason to go to Trenton, and I think that may be a novel occurrence.
Yeah, that's the only reason to ever go to Trenton.
Accidentally broke Sergio's name.
Oh no, Sergio.
Sergio, I have great news for you. You are now a sir.
Sergio.
Sir Sergio. Oh, of the oblong table. Uh, Zach, I understand you have a theory for me today.
I do. And this is going to be, you put me through something wild and interesting in our last theory. Uh, and this one's also going to have you all over the place. It's a little threadbare, it's a little half baked, but it came to me the other day as as I sometimes do, laying down in a bathtub and just watching YouTube videos and relaxing. Some wires got crossed theory wise when I was watching a new video by, I want to make sure I say his name correctly, Tapakapa, the guy who does,
You're not gonna get me with a ligma that easy.
he does videos very similar to CGP Grey, but he uploads way more frequently. I
Okay.
say, even though CGP Grey's been on a tear recently. Yeah, so
Yeah, he's uploaded almost 3 videos this year.
that's a tear for him. So here, and also I want to shout out where I got this other part from. 4 months ago, somebody named the Coconut God on the Song of Ice and Fire Reddit did a bit about one of Stannis's puns, and it reminded me of this fun and vexillological fact, which is Stannis's sigil is technically compliant with the Baratheon sigil's description: a stag, or hart, H-A-R-T, on a golden field.
Sigil's description: a stag, open parentheses, or hart
Hart.
on a golden field. Yeah, and we see that a lot in the series, don't we?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, like, especially in the books,
Yeah.
a lot of people will take their own sigils that are like distinct from their families, but still very obviously their family's sigil, right? I think about
Yeah.
Bloodraven, who has basically the Targaryen sigil, but it's a white dragon instead.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, it's close to a very important thing.
Aryan Brightflame basically did exactly the same thing, where he took the Targaryen sigil and just made the dragons multicolored. He like, which is the dragon god? Is it Baphomet or Bahamut?
Bahamut.
Bahamut is the. Oh, I'm sorry. No, the Bahamut is the dragon god. The evil multi-headed chromatic dragon is yeah. There we go. Tiamat. Thank you. He basically did that with the Targaryen sigil.
Yes,
I'm not sure if that's relevant to anywhere that we're going, but I can keep talking.
Well, yeah, that is very relevant. We were very close to a highly important thing.
All right.
I do want to point out that Stannis did a pun. Is the thing from Reddit? He put a heart on his sigil.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. It is technically speaking a heart on a golden field.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not gonna deny that that's an excellent pun.
Yeah, no wonder Stannis is so upset his parlay with Renly is what the Reddit post said, and I agree. If I came in with that like banger of a like meme on my shirt and nobody acknowledged it, I'd be very, very upset.
And like you can't like point it out, you know, and like you could totally be like, if I had gotten the chance to talk to Catelyn Stark, I could have been like, hey Catelyn, what do you think of the joke? They're like, oh, that's funny. Hey, would you bring that up in front of my brother, please? You can definitely seed that joke if you need to, but he didn't have the opportunity. Because the person he would normally see jokes with is Davos Seaworth, and Davos Seaworth was Davos there? I think that they were already planning on murdering Renly at the time.
Mel certainly thought it had to come to that. Yeah.
I love the idea of Davos being there and Stannis like hitting him with the side eye, like
Come on, set me up for the joke.
Onion Knight, Onion Knight. We talked about this. Like you get it, like and like you can't bring it up, but you keep like glancing sideways, like, well, hey, what's on your sigil? Like, Melisandre goes, King Stannis has taken the fiery heart of the Lord of Light, and like Stannis glances at the sigil, and then over at Davos, and like, Davos, come on, like we talked about it. Our heart is better than your heart. Come on. I don't know if this bit is landing, but it didn't land for Stannis, so that's fine. Okay. We talking about Bloodraven. Bloodraven's sigil is a white dragon on a black field, right? And he fought in the battles for the in the Blackfire rebellions.
Ding. The Blackfire sigil is has reversed colors of the Targaryen sigil.
Is the Targaryen sigil reversed? I know some flags. Hang on, we're gonna put this up in the corner. I know some flags. You think I don't know some
sigil too?
Say again.
So you might want to have a consistent spelling of sigil too.
Maybe you should fight me. Erase. We're gonna erase it. If it's a problem, we're gonna erase it. They're all gonna be eyes. I don't know which is correct.
That's correct. I'm pretty sure.
Actually, honestly, no matter which way I decide to spell it, please tell me I'm incorrect in the comments.
Yes. Say that you spelled sigil wrong while spelling sigil the exact same way that we're spelling it in the video.
Exactly. And then respond to that comment and tell that person that they spelled sigil wrong, but spelling it the same way. Yeah, I know some stuff about flags. In the Dance of the Dragons, Aegon's camp takes the Targaryen sigil, but with Sunfire as the main like centerpiece. It's a gold dragon, and Rhaenyra takes I think the standard Targaryen dragon, quartered with the Arryn coat of arms for her mom.
Yes, they're variations. Those ones are very distinct from each other though, because it's quartered, and they don't look super duper similar.
Oh no. Okay, let's see. What are some battles where heraldry might be confusing?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about the Battle of the Blackwater? With Renly's ghost appearing to show up.
Yeah.
On both sides of that host were Baratheon colors, which I can understand being very confusing.
Very confusing, yeah. It could have been the case that, you saw those somebody looking like Renly charging in from the other side, and you might think very well that that's another Baratheon host coming to reinforce.
Yeah.
Or to think.
Yep, they were flying Baratheon colors. They were charging in apparently with Renly. Of course, the Stannis' forces were surprised. Let's see other confusing battles.
There's some wonderful. How much do you know about the American Civil War?
A moderate amount. I know that the Confederates went through a number of flag iterations because they were. Say
flag
again.
Iteration. Why did they go through multiple flag iterations?
Well, because they started out using the American flag, but with the number of Confederate states instead, which was understandably confusing.
Yes.
Because they had basically the same flag.
And what happened was a lot of friendly fire incidents.
Absolutely.
Stonewall Jackson got hit with friendly fire. James Longstreet got hit with friendly fire. And Albert Johnston who was another Confederate general, was killed by friendly fire because they just couldn't tell the flags apart in a lot of the battles. There was a lot of, well, what were some contributing factors to not being able to glance at the flag besides the flag looking similar? Because it did change over time. What's a battlefield component famous in the Civil War?
Oh, hold on one second. I got some clicky click coming through the mic. Let me see if it's on my side.
It might be on my side.
Say words at length, but make them funny, because I'm not cutting this.
The clicky click might be coming from me. I don't know how to make that particularly funny. That's the thing.
That's the end. That's the end of the bit.
That's the end of the bit.
Give us a rating out of 10 in the comments on that one. Yeah, it is. It does appear to be coming through you. I don't know how to fix it.
What could possibly be clicking?
Are you like physically clicking something?
No, not currently.
Damn it. Okay.
Okay.
Well.
Ankle.
Well, fuck it. We ball.
We ball.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If there's like a cord clicking against a desk or something, that could be causing it.
Could be.
Which,
but we'll see.
All right. So, contributing factors: smoke and noise and darkness.
Ding. So dragonfire produces large amounts of smoke. We know from various battles.
Of smoke, sure.
And we know from the Long Night episode of the Bad Dragon show that there'll be a period of extended darkness soon in Westeros.
There may be another long night in Westeros. Sure. Okay. So we are.
I think you can put down a flags are often confused on battlefields leading to friendly fire.
Confused on battlefields if they are too similar, leading to friendly fire. Is this a theory about past events?
Future.
Very exciting. So, what two camps are going to be fighting each other that have similar heraldry?
One might even say that they would have the same heraldry.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's talk about some major factions then. Who has the same heraldry? Are we talking the Casterly Rock Lannisters and the Lannisport Lannisters?
No.
Interesting. Are we talking the Tyrells with their different factions right now?
No.
I am not sure where we're going with this.
Look at the top right. It's there for a reason.
Wi-Fi. You think that? Okay. You think that what Daenerys and Aegon both trying to claim Targaryen lineage?
They're going to use the same. They're going to use the same sigil because young Griff is claiming to be a Targaryen. He's totally going to be out there with the exact same sigil as Daenerys.
Zach, you're clicking something fierce. I don't know what the heck is coming through.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Whatever. Fuck it. Who cares? Okay. Absolutely fuck them. We might fix it between recordings. We might not. So what do you? Oh my God. Do you think that like the bleary-eyed John Con is like gonna kill young Griff?
No, this is a little addendum to Red Door. This is I found another step Daenerys takes along the way to madness.
Ooh, okay.
And this is a quick one, the theory, because we pretty much got to the core of it already.
Young Griff will be using the same heraldry.
Yeah.
That does seem very likely.
Yeah, they're both gonna. Well, I'm the real Targaryen, so I'm gonna use the real Targaryen, sigil, flag, heraldry. Mine is a red dragon on a black background, and there might be mild alterations to it, but probably not at the beginning. And they're probably going to be fighting with each other. I think the show simplified it a little too much, right? The Long Night was just dealt with in one single episode, and then they went and dealt with all the southern plots. I think that's very unlikely. I think that there's a very good chance they hold out in the Eyrie instead of at Winterfell. I think there's a very good chance that there's a prolonged conflict with not only the others, but with the humans fighting each other over stupid squabbles while also fighting the others. In which case, there might be fights during, a period of extended darkness in a smoke-filled battlefield where Daenerys is present with her dragon, trying to fight back against a opportunistic young Griff, perchance, who is, attacking them while they're weak, fighting the others. And Daenerys might burn the wrong section of the army.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
No fault of her own. Just sees a sigil, assumes it's young Griff's, even though it's very similar to hers. Can't see through the smoke and the fighting and the darkness, and burns a huge segment of her own men.
She gets like turned around and confused like she does during the Long Night in the show.
Yeah.
And she just like flame broils one of her own ships, or even like an entire column.
Yeah, an entire column of her own men perish in horrifying flames, and she thinks that she just wiped out, some of her enemies.
Jesus, man. That's some dark shit.
Yeah.
My God. I mean, okay. So let's talk about it, right? What is the implication of this?
The implication, well, I think I've mentioned Worm before, which I still have not finished reading. It's one of the longest pieces of fiction ever read, or ever written, rather. But the idea of that, the tagline of it is "The road to hell is paved with good intentions," and it follows a very similar arc to where I think Daenerys is going. It starts off with a troubled teenage girl who finds out she has much more power than she thought she would. In Worm, she has the superpower to control insects, arachnids, simple-minded creatures, stuff like that, worms, et cetera, et cetera. I think she can even control a crab at one point. And in Daenerys' story, she is the living owner of dragons. She's the only person who can ride and use dragons for her own purposes, which is a great power that, as another piece of fiction might say, comes with great responsibility.
Yeah, that's from Scarface.
That's from Scarface. After he does a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, with great powder comes
responsibility. It's too good.
And then he stands up and goes, "Say hello to my little finger."
In Worm, she has to make. Sorry, that's good. That's
he
good.
throws Aiden Jillian at people.
It's so good. In Worm, our main character makes like conscious decisions that become more and more morally questionable over time. In A Song of Ice and Fire, that might also be the case. But we might also see Dany make like honest mistakes, or just not. So like we've seen this already with Drogon flame broiling a kid, right?
My God.
We've seen like the beginning. Dany doesn't understand how powerful the like living weapons she has are, and like a mistake that happens on her orders would do wonders for destroying her like sanity, like getting her to that Mad Queen moment they force on the show out of nowhere. It would also explain why people are willing to like suspicious of her, willing to turn against her, questioning her rule, which would also feed into her like Mad Queen sort of like descent. As if
can I add to this a little bit?
Please do.
I think that the scene you're describing would have to have some real, like, some personal weight for her. So
Yeah.
maybe she like roasts a baggage train by accident and kills Missandei or Grey Worm.
Or maybe it's being a flank being led by Grey Worm.
Led up. Oh my God! What if it's fucking Jorah?
That's exactly where I was going to go with that. What if Jorah is leading a heroic charge into Youngrif's forces, and he's the one who looks up, sees Drogon above, watches the mouth open, and realizes that he's about to get burned. This could even be like an epilogue or a prologue chapter, too. This could be the Winds of Winter epilogue. There's a fight, and Daenerys accidentally friendly fires Jorah to death, and that's how the book ends.
Because Jorah, suppose that Jorah does not spend most of the book with Daenerys. He continues to spend most of the 6th book getting back to Daenerys. Finally manages to make it back to her, flying her banner.
Yeah. He finally gets to help her land on Westerosi soil. And not long after, the long night starts to begin. The days are a lot darker. There's conflicts with young Griff. He decides that he's gonna, help her fight for the kingdom she came to claim. And he is a casualty, not through anything young Griff did, but from Daenerys opening fire on the wrong group of people.
My God. Because like if Jorah comes back and like isn't linked up with Daenerys, of course he would ride in with a company of sellswords, maybe the like freed pit fighter slaves that they've been dealing with in Meereen. He rocks up to Westeros late, rides into battle, comes in to flank Daenerys to join forces with her. Daenerys sees a column flying her own banner and roasts them before talking to them.
Yeah, or maybe Daenerys does like relent and change her banner, but they don't get the memo.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to used to fly.
Yeah, because he's out of the loop a little bit, and Jorah coming back to try to join forces with Daenerys gets flame broiled literally without ever talking to her again.
Yeah, that's dark as hell.
And honestly, I'm like trying to find characters in my mind whose end goal could be dying to piss off Daenerys.
Dying to lead to Daenerys's like lack of sanity. Someone who dying in a friendly fire incident at the hands of Daenerys would shake her to her core more than just I killed innocents or I killed my own people. Somebody who she cares about. It could also be Daario, but it seems less likely.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be someone. It has to be someone that she has that kind of emotional connection to, and wouldn't feel cheap if they died.
Yeah.
And it would not feel cheap if it would feel cheap to me if Daario or Missandei died like that. But it would not feel cheap to me if Jorah died like that.
Yeah, that's a fitting ending for Jorah, tragically. That's a horrible tragedy if Jorah goes out that way.
He died as he lived, simpin'.
Yeah. and him dying at the hands of Daenerys trying to do right by her, it would be horribly tragic for the audience, and also would be the sort of thing that would seriously damage Daenerys' psyche. Like,
100%.
she would not recover from that easy.
Zach, this theory is very good.
But thank you.
Oh, thank God. Now we don't need to entertain the idea that Sansa's gonna marry Jorah anymore.
Yeah, I guess not.
Thank God. Are there any other options that you can think of?
Barristan could absolutely end up this way. Although I think Barristan definitely, I think, dies at the hands of Daenerys in a like dark manner. But I think that might be when she's too far gone and looking for enemies where there aren't any.
I agree. And Barristan still has arcs to fulfill.
Yeah, Jorah, once he gets back to Daenerys, that's kind of his story.
Right, that's it. He is coming back to Daenerys, looking for acceptance, forgiveness, and love, and he can't get those things.
No, not in any meaningful capacity.
Yeah, his end game is loneliness or death.
Yeah, they're like the ending he gets in the show is probably the best case scenario for him, honestly.
Yeah.
That was still dark and sad.
Yeah. Or he joined. Right, loneliness does not mean misery. It could mean the Night's Watch.
Yeah, that's probably the big. Him as the final Lord Commander of the Night's Watch is probably the best ending for him.
Yeah,
and it's still not a perfect ending for him, but at the very least, that would be thematically appropriate. He finally did what his father wanted him to do after he dishonored himself. Also, those two aren't mutually exclusive.
That's
this could
true.
still happen if he becomes the Night's Watch.
That's true. He could become the commander of the Night's Watch and learn that Daenerys is doing all the fucking nonsense she's doing. Finally, after a long time, halfway through the 7th book, decide to ride down and help her, and then get fucking roasted.
Yeah.
Also, he could just be like, he doesn't need to die. He could be Quentin Martelled and very badly burned. I'm still alive, I'm just very badly burned. Still alive in here. Zach, I like this.
Yeah.
This is extremely good.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that this is one that if George doesn't do it, I mean, there's a world where this doesn't happen, but I feel like George is kind of set up perfectly for this to happen, for a major friendly fire incident. And George, being a big fan of showing the horrors of war, it would feel wrong if we didn't get one really serious friendly fire sort of miscommunication sort of thing, because those were common in some of the bloodiest, nastiest wars in history. And
I would agree. I think that this actually this tracks extremely well. I'm just trying to draw some fire in here. There we go. Perfect.
I'm gonna look. Was there? Hold on. And there were to give another Vietnam War parallel to tie this in with the Red Door theory. There were 8,000 friendly fire incidents in the Vietnam War.
My God.
Yeah, the Wikipedia list is nowhere near complete. People shot down the friendly planes, and friendly planes made bombing runs on areas that had their own soldiers in it.
Zach, this is great. What are we calling this?
It's a good question.
I mean, we could just call it friendly fire.
Yeah, it could be the friendly fire theory.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, that kind of tracks. Zach, you got anything to add? I think this is a good, like neat little tidy one.
No, I think that's all I got. This is, like I said, neat little tidy quick theory.
All right.
Yeah.
You can subscribe if you want to. You can join our Discord if you want to. That's very fun. And if you want to submit theories, you can. You can do it at the email address below. We're a little backlogged right now, but we'll get to it.
We will get to it.
Zach, say goodbye.
Goodbye.